Burley Sew. Hello everybody and welcome back to Burley Sew. I'm your host Purified, and today we're going to take a look at how you can draw your own embroidery design. The program that we're going to be using is SewArt. I've shown a couple other videos with this program. I've grown quite fond of it. And today we're just going to use the drawing tools. We're not going to import anything. We're just going to simply draw an embroidery design. And it's just like any other drawing program. I've selected the pencil tool and I've selected freehand pixels, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw up my design. The one thing that you want to remember is if you make a mistake, it's very simple. You can just undo or hit Control Z. But what I'm working on is, if anybody's played MTG, Magic the Gathering, there's different types of manas in that game, and I'm working on a reimagining of the different mana types. And this is what I'm coming up with, the planes. And you can see I went over here, basically just taking white and using that as the eraser, because our background is white, and I'll show you at the end that you can select what colors you want to be embroidered and which ones you don't, and you can set a transparent color, so white will be my transparent color when the stitching part comes into play, but you can touch it up that way as well. And I also, you can see I made the pixel width bigger to erase with. Makes it a little easier and deletes more. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the elliptical outline tool. You can see I made some hills there, and now with the elliptical outline tool I'm going to go ahead and make a sun, and the sun's going below the horizon, so I'll go back to freehand pixels and see how it's black there. I turn it to white and it just erases, so we'll go ahead and erase below our horizon here to make our sun look correct as it's setting or rising, whichever perspective you're looking at it from, over the horizon. Alright, so now that we've got this all straightened out, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to select black. And there's a couple different ways you can choose color. There's the color palette in the bottom left. I use the dropper tool a lot. That maintains consistency if you're just using a few colors. So I selected the black, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some detail to the sun. I'm going to draw some rays coming off. And you can see that in the bottom right hand corner of the program, you can see that I have this zoomed into 3 times. So I have it nice and big so I can draw it and see all the detail, make my corrections, and then we'll zoom it down to 1 times to the actual size when we're done. But you can also see the size of the image in pixels, as well as the number of colors being used in the bottom right. So now that we've got that all drawn out, I'm going to go ahead and use the fill tool, which is the little bucket up here. And we've got some obvious regions that I'm going to want to fill, and I'm going to choose the color in the bottom palette. I'm going to choose the color yellow. You can also see it over here on the right. And now I'm going to use green for the planes, and now I've got my fill regions taken care of. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and maybe spruce up this design a little bit, add a few more rays, just kind of play with it. You can do whatever you want. It's easy to undo several levels of work if you like by just hitting the undo button on the toolbar, or also just hitting Control Z. And if you want to clean things up a little bit, like maybe I've got a few rays that are too close to the sun, I can go ahead and select white and go ahead and erase those, and just kind of perfect it, get it the way I want it to look before I go ahead and turn it into my embroidery design. So now you see I've got it just about the way I want it. I'm just going around the outside here and getting rid of some extra length, trying to keep it annular all the way around. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show how to stitch it out. And in previous videos I've shown the simple way, which is basically just going up to the stitch here, the sewing machine, and from the drop down selecting the transparent color, and and then that gets rid of that and it stitches out all your colors. Now I want to add a little bit of texture, a little bit more depth to this project, so I'll go ahead and clear the stitches. Then we can go to our stitch drop down here, and I'm going to select zigzag 3, and I'm going to select the sun, and then zigzag 2 and select the planes, and that's going to give it two different textures. And you can see on the right how it's building the stitches and the stops. So then I'm going to go up to default, and then I'm going to go all the way around and select the different parts of black that I want stitched out. Anything connecting is going to be in that particular block. So I'm going to go around and do the rest of these rays, and then we'll have our complete design. And it's as simple as that. You can draw whatever you can think of. I am by no means an artist whatsoever. This is a very simple design. And you see there I made a mistake, but you can simply just right click on it and you can delete it, or left click on it and delete it, and then you can pick up where you left off. Or if you want to change the order that way, you can just play with it. But now we'll save it, and now we've got our saved design. And really that's all there is to it. I just wanted to show you a quick video on how anybody can make their own embroidery design. You don't even have to import a picture, you can just draw it. I've got lots of other great videos on many different topics, so go check out the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave your comments below. I'm Purified, and thanks for watching Burley Sew.